Hello, my name is Bill Powell. I'm one of the elders at the Georgetown Church of Christ. Joy, the happy state that results from knowing and serving God. A number of Greek and Hebrew words are used in the Bible to convey the ideas of joy and rejoicing. We have the same situation in English, with such nearly synonymous words as joy, happiness, pleasure, delight, gladness, merriment, felicity, enjoyment. The words joy and rejoice are the words used most often to translate the Hebrew and Greek words into English. Joy is found over 150 times in the Bible. If such words as joyous and joyful are included, the number comes to over 200. The verb rejoice appears well over 200 times. Joy is the fruit of a right relation with God. It's not something people can create by their own efforts. The Bible distinguishes joy from pleasure. The Greek word for pleasure is the word from where we get our word hedonism, the philosophy of self-centered pleasure-seeking. Paul referred to false teachers as lovers of pleasure more than lovers of God. In 2 Timothy, the 3rd chapter, people will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boastful, proud, abusive, disobedient to their parents, ungrateful, unholy, without love, unforgiving, slanderous, without self-control, brutal, not lovers of good, treacherous, rash, conceited, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having the form of godliness but denying its power. Have nothing to do with them. The Bible warns that self-indulgent pleasure-seeking does not lead to happiness and fulfillment. Ecclesiastes, the 2nd chapter, records the testimony of one who sought to build his life on pleasure-seeking. This search left him empty and disillusioned. Chapter 2, I thought in my heart, come now, I will test you with pleasure to find out what is good. But that also proved to be meaningless. Laughter, I said, is foolish. And what does pleasure accomplish? I tried cheering myself with wine and embracing folly, my mind still guiding me with wisdom. I wanted to see what was worthwhile for men to do under heaven during the few days of their lives. I undertook great projects. I built houses for myself and planted vineyards. I made gardens and parks, planted all kinds of fruit trees in them. I made reservoirs to water groves of flourishing trees. I bought male and female slaves and had other slaves who were born in my house. I also owned more herds and flocks than anyone in Jerusalem before me. I amassed silver and gold for myself and the treasures of kings and provinces. I acquired men and women singers and a harem as well, the delights of the heart of man. I became greater by far than anyone in Jerusalem before me. In all this, my wisdom stayed with me. I denied myself nothing my eyes desired. I refused my heart no pleasure. My heart took delight in all my works, and was the reward for all my labor. Yet when I surveyed all that my hands had done, and what had toiled to achieve, everything was meaningless, a chasing after the wind. Nothing was gained under the sun. Proverbs 14 offers insight into this way of life. Even in laughter, the heart is sorrowful. Cares, riches, and pleasure rob people of the possibility of fruitful living. In Luke, the 8th chapter, the seed that fell among thorns stand for those who hear the word, but as they go on their way, they're choked by life worries, riches, and pleasure, and they do not mature. Many people think that God is the great killjoy. Nothing could be a bigger lie. God himself knows joy, and he wants his people to know joy. Psalms 104 speaks of God, himself rejoicing in his creative works. May the glory of the Lord continue forever. May the Lord be happy with what he has made. Isaiah 65 speaks of God rejoicing over his redeemed people, who will be to him a joy. So be glad and full of joy forever, because of what I will create. I will cause others to take delight in Jerusalem. They will be filled with joy when they see its people. Luke 15 is the most famous biblical reference of God's joy. The Pharisees and scribes had criticized Jesus for receiving sinners and eating with them. Then Jesus told 3 parables: the lost sheep, the lost coin, the loving father, the prodigal son. The explicit theme of each parable is joy over one sinner who repents. May we each look for joy in our relationship with God and his Son, Jesus Christ, who came to give us true joy by our hope and belief and trust in him. May God bless.